YouTube, what the crap is going on? HeirofCarthage here, back in Total War Rome 2 multiplayer. And in this fight, I'm going to continue the discussion of pull-through and where I think that it's not a big deal, and some spots where I think it is kind of a big deal. So in the last game where my opponent did it, regardless of whether I like it, and regardless of whether I liked it when I played against the Galatians, it was somewhat feasible. It was cavalry trying to slip through cavalry to get to another point in the battlefield. In this battle, you're going to see a different version of pull-through, which was kind of irritating. And again, though, it's something you need to keep an eye on. So I'm playing as Carthage, and this time I bring Libyan infantry just because they're a more sturdy base. These guys are similar to Roman infantry. They have a little more weapon damage, a little less attack, but you know, high melee defense, high armor, good health, solid base morale. So I brought these guys because they're just a sturdy unit overall. I have 5 units of mercenary Cretan archers. Thinking that Sparta might try and use its newfound ability with Cretan archers to put up a fight. So I brought good skirmishers, but my opponent has not brought any. I have 2 Iberian cav, 2 Campanian cav, and then 2 Carthaginian cav. And to clear up the difference, because I mispronounce these guys sometimes, these are mercenary Campanian cav from Campania in Italy, not Campanian cav, which would have been the, I guess, the royal bodyguard of Alexander or a Macedonian king. 2 different things. So I'll try and clear that up. My opponent has brought like a ton of Spartan hoplites, probably 7 or 8 units of them. He has a hero Sparta unit and some Spartan youths. He's just brought a hoplite spam. And then he has, I think, 5 citizen cav and maybe 1 other skirmisher cav somewhere. I can't remember. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty straightforward fight. I mean, to be honest, my Libyan infantry is going to tank out quite a few kills on these Spartan hoplites. The Spartan hoplites aren't a bad unit in melee. It's just that they don't have a bonus versus infantry. They have a bonus versus large. So my infantry is going to be pretty cost effective versus these Spartans. They could probably cut their way through my infantry eventually, especially if they outflank. But outflanking is going to be difficult because they lack mobility, and my archers are going to be able to pour in fire. And on heavy shot, Cretan archers are more than capable of tearing apart heavily armored units. That's one of the benefits of paying the extra money for that expensive unit that comes with heavy shot. I did target the Spartan youths here, which is a mistake. I had them on auto fire, but I think I changed my target to the Spartan general here in a moment. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and charge my infantry forward, get them engaged in this fight. And it's a fight that will definitely roll in my favor. I've never seen someone attack in column formation either. That was an interesting deal, but it's the reason he attacked in column formation is because you're about to see why. If you watch, here in a minute he's going to issue a big pull-through order with all of his infantry. Here I'm firing at his general, but his general is going to try and just keep going. Let's see. So yeah, my Libyan infantry have only lost like a few men here. I start running some just aesthetic rear charges with my Iberian cav. Don't expect much out of it. He goes ahead and pulls through with his general here, and then he's going to just pull through with all of his infantry. Look at this. Just pulls right through my men. Which, my men are going to get kills because he's doing it, but look, not real fast, and now his men are completely surrounding mine because of the pull-through. And they pull through fairly well because they're in that column formation. And look, he's just absolutely pulled through all of my infantry. And now that my men are surrounded, they actually start getting cut down pretty quickly. So it's kind of irritating. I mean, I guess in this case it's semi-feasible because the Spartans were more massive. They had more men, they were in the column, and they could push through my men. But I'm not going to say it's not irritating. So this is a strategy that I've never run into before, where you just pull through the enemy infantry to end up making them surrounded. And it almost works. Well, I mean, I would say it does work in the sense that otherwise his Spartans would have taken a lot longer to cut down my Libyans in the center. But the one thing that my opponent really can't do much about is my archers. And my archers are going to wreak havoc on his men. So I'm just kind of being somewhat patient with my Iberian cav. I'm only doing hammer and anvils where I think it could potentially make a difference. But it's not going to make much difference against Spartan hoplites because those are just light cavalry. Iberian cav were better suited to hunting down skirmishers, which is why I brought them. But yeah, look, that pull-through just completely decimates my Libyans. Some of them didn't even get that many kills, only 59 kills here. Should have gotten a lot better than that versus Spartan infantry. This one got 113, which will basically pay for itself, but not much more, depending on what those kills were. If it was a Spartan youth, then it won't pay for itself. Here I'm going to go into the flank of these Spartans, but you can see not enough mass to really even knock them over because this is a lightly armored unit. Yeah, nothing real effective here. This Libyan still almost no kills. But yeah, in the cav fight, my opponent doesn't have a chance. But hey, if you pulled through with the infantry, why not in the cav fight? So here in a second, my opponent's going to do the same thing in the cav fight because he sees my archers sitting out here, and apparently for some people this is just way too tempting to stick around in that fight, and they'll just go ahead and pull on through. And here's when he does it. You can see him just giving his guys an attack order or a movement order elsewhere, and he's just going to go ahead and pull through. And you can see that even when pulling through, he comes out with most of his men. Gets a rear charge on my Iberian cav here. So yeah, my infantry is now completely fall through, which I kind of expected in the end, because there's only 5 versus, you know, maybe almost 10 heavy infantry. So I kind of expected my men would eventually fall, but here he goes, continuing to pull through. I had to bring my general in to intercept him again, because he keeps pulling through the units that I'm sending after him. So yeah, I had to continue to try and follow him, and you can see he's trying to pull through with a second unit here too. All of his cav are trying to disengage from this fight and get to my archers, which at that point, again, trying to pull through to get to my archers, not as bad. It's kind of irritating, but I understand it. He's got to get to my archers. The infantry fight just didn't make much sense, but, you know, whatever. I can't tell people what to do. I'm just telling you it's kind of strange, and it's an odd thing. Now, I won't say that it wasn't completely unrealistic. I think there's certain situations where that pull-through might be unrealistic, but here, I mean, he really did have a huge weight of heavily armed infantry that, you know, were outnumbering my men, so feasibly they could have pushed through my men if this were a more real-life scenario, but it is a game. So I won't take it personally. It's just something strange, and the biggest reason I want to show you all is, again, to just make you all aware that people are doing this. It's something that you need to be aware of, and it's something you're going to have to keep an eye on. It's happened to me in my last several matches, so just want to make you all aware that it can happen and that people will use it. And again, it does penalize the unit moving through. You're going to get a few more kills. It's going to make your men a little more vulnerable. But there are situations in which that's worth it, so you can't just assume that your opponent won't do it because of that. Now you can see that a few of my infantry did tank, but a couple of them got tanked by that pull through. So you can see it doesn't work necessarily in every situation, but it definitely can make a difference. The rest of my units did just fine, and because of my archers, I was able to pull out a win there. You can see a couple of them getting a lot of kills. Anyway, this is not meant to like bash on my opponent. It's not like he was sitting there calling me names or running around trying to be a jerk or something. He's just playing the game the way that he thinks he's going to win it. So it's not a bash session. It's just me throwing this out here as a point of discussion and letting you all know that this is something you might see in the game. So to be aware of it. But in any case, HeirofCarthage signing off for now. Hope you all enjoyed it.